When I was a kid, I fished for salmon, I fished for steelhead. We went around to all different kinds of lakes. We fished for trout, rainbow trout, brown trout. We went out in the ocean, we bottom fished, we hooked into sharks, all sorts of crazy different species. But I had never caught a stinking kokanee. And I hadn't even heard of kokanee, honestly, until I moved up to North Idaho. I moved up here when I was 27, and I'm 33 now, about to turn 34. And so, I mean, it's been a while since I've lived here. Once I moved up here, I started hearing everybody talk about kokanee. And so you go out there, you see these fish online, you do a little research, and you're like, kokanee, dude, like, we fish on the ocean down in Oregon, and now I'm up here catching 14-inch and hopefully a 20-inch fish on this lake. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh, wow, cool, that's really sick. Then you get out there on the body of water, and you catch kokanee. And you're like, oh, that was actually really sick. And then you go out there again, you catch another kokanee, and maybe you catch a few that day, and then you go back out again, and you're like, oh, I'm catching kokanee. You're like, oh, I can probably get into this. I could probably make some stuff that'll catch fish. Then you put something together, you know, at home, whatever, and you go back out there, and you catch a few more kokanee, and then you go get a limit of kokanee. And then 6 years later, you turn into all this, where you're making walking on water hybrid hoochies literally every day for kokanee. It's absolutely insane. Never thought I was going to become a kokanee guy, and I'm so blessed that kokanee have hooked me just as much as I'm hooked to fishing for kokanee. And it's just absolutely an amazing fish to catch, and I freaking love them. They are tasty. They're fun to catch. It's so fun going out there and like putting that length and the weight in mind and just trying to accomplish the goal of catching your personal best kokanee. And they're just a super fun fish to catch for your friends and your family. And it's just always a fun time out there on the water fishing for freaking kokanee. That's all I got to say. So even though you never thought you were going to be a kokanee guy, you go out there and fish for kokanee a couple times, you're going to become a kokanee guy. I promise you that. Welcome back to another episode of Walking on Water Fishing. That was my life story on how I became addicted to kokanee, and we are going to go over today exactly how I set up to go be hyper productive for kokanee. These are my two tried and true number one setups that always put fish in my boat. We're also going to tag along with a little bit of sockeye information because kokanee are a landlocked sockeye, not making a trip to the ocean like the sockeye salmon. The kokanee is stuck in the lake for us to go fish. So we're going to talk about two setups for kokanee, and we're also going to mimic that, and we're going to talk about two setups for sockeye salmon. Let's get right into it. Okay, we're going to grab one of the 200 million leaders that I literally sat here and tied up if I can get one out because they're all tangled. Holy crap. Okay. We got one. We're going to talk about leader length, we're going to talk about leader line, and we're going to talk about hooks, and we're going to talk about spacing super quick, okay? Everybody has their preference on what they like when it comes to their spacing for kokanee. I like to use about a finger width because 95% of my hookups, 95, not all of them, I know everybody's different, come on the trailer hook, okay? Then they go crazy, right? And there's space here, so you see this hook spinning around the other line just like so. This allows that when the fish is thrashing to also get hooked in that fish's face, and then you're pulling tight. And the hooks that are getting hooked in that fish's face are size 4 drop shot hooks. I only use drop shot hooks. It keeps these fish pinned. They're hyper erratic. They jump, they spin, they death roll. They do everything they can, not to mention have very soft mouths to get off the hook. And these two hooks tied up into a double non-slip mooching rig is paired with a P-line 10-pound fluorocarbon. I love fluorocarbon. I feel like when you're running setups and you're running lures, I feel like fluorocarbon really does the job. It's not as buoyant as mono and so on and so forth. And it just really allows those spinner blades, those smile blades, like these 0.8 Mac Lure UV bursts right here, just to spin really well in the water with your setups. So now that we've talked about the hooks, we've talked about the line and the spacing, let's talk about the product that we're going to be pairing this with. This is a walking on water hybrid hoochie. This is a Mylar skirted hoochie that I tie up myself, and I also sell on my Shopify shop. And we have a huge variety of colors that we like to play around with to catch these kokanee. There's a lot of different varieties out here. This one's a really good one. It's Rooster. This thing absolutely crushes. And they all come in 4-inch just like this because this is how the Mylar comes. And then I cut it down to size depending on if it's sockeye or kokanee that we're going fishing for. Okay, there's a huge variant, purple and pink. There's a sherbet one, pink, orange, and opal of the white opal. It's a shimmery opal. And then, of course, not to mention, this one's an absolute killer. This is Speed Racer. This one absolutely dominates in the water. A lot of my big fish have come on this one right here. And there's just a huge selection and variety of choices that we can pick to set these up with. But today we are going to go with the Rising Sun hybrid hoochie right here. It's a copper base with an orange skirted top. Okay, and I use all clear heads, and I always use pink line when I'm doing my wraps. It's kind of my signature thing. I don't care if I'm making a black hoochie. I don't care if I'm making a white hoochie. I always use a UV pink. It's just what I do. So we are going to grab the leader line in the non-slip mooching rig that we talked about. We are going to grab our beads right here, and we are going to pair a couple orange beads. I like throwing the glow beads on underneath the skirt of the hoochie. Makes it kind of nice. And so we're just simply going to grab 2 beads out. These are 5mm little glow-in-the-dark beads, just like so, and we're going to run them down the line just like that. Super simple, super easy. And then we're going to grab our hybrid hoochie just like so. You have to kind of pull the skirt back because this stuff is a little bit stiff sometimes. And then you're going to feed the line down through the hoochie just like so. And you are going to pop it down like that. And try not to get yourself hooked like I did. See how good those drop shot hooks work? They actually work really well. Okay. And now we have our Walking on Water hybrid hoochie. This is a Rising Sun on the line. Next thing that we're going to do, we are now going to pair an orange bead on top because this is an orange skirted hoochie, just like so. We're going to throw that on there just like that. So now we have 1 bead above the hoochie. Okay. Then we are going to grab, I had one floating around here that was already open, right here, a Mac lure. This is a silver sparkle smile blade. I really like using anything silver for kokanee, and I really like using anything UV glow burst. Pinks work as well too. Anything that has that shimmer, that shine that's going to attract those fish, really sky's the limit with it. And this is how we are going to set up our Walking on Water hybrid hoochie right there with a little smile blade just like so. Now, we are going to grab a size 12 right here, size 12 barrel swivel, okay? And we are going to put it on the line, just like so. And when I'm making these, every single one, I like to have the tape measure out because I always run, for me personally, I know everybody's different. And maybe some days it might attest to me not getting a limit. Maybe some days it attests to me just absolutely crushing it. I never really change up my leader lengths. If I'm going to sit here and tie all these up and I'm going to put them on my leaderboard, not sell them to you guys, but put them on my leaderboard, I'm going to run every single one the exact same length leader. Because generally I'm using the same kind of dodgers. And just because I'm using the same kind of dodgers, or I'm using different dodgers, I like running the specific leader length because that's how I can adjust from there with variables and so on and so forth, understanding whether or not these hoochies fish the same, because every single one of these hoochies that I fish has caught fish and put not just one fish, but many fish, hundreds of fish, literally. Every single one of these hoochies have caught so many fish. So it's like, I don't sell a hoochie unless it has caught a ton of fish. So it's not even worth my time if not. So I'm going to run right around the 10.5 mark on these right here. I know you're not supposed to use your teeth, but for video purposes, I wanted to be quick. And then we're just going to do a standard fisherman knot up top here for this one. Just like so. Going to thread it through, pull it down tight. Then we are going to locate our scissors right here. And we're going to drop it off just like that. Now we have a fully tied up 10.5 inch, 10 pound fluorocarbon 0.8 Mac lure smile blade to a UV orange 5mm bead down to a Rising Sun, Walking on Water hybrid hoochie, down to 2 glow beads, down to a double non-slip mooching rig with size 4 drop shot hooks with a 1 finger gap in between for the spacing on the hooks. And this is my first #1 tried and true absolute epic killer setup that catches freaking fish. Check out this underwater footage right now of this setup catching a fish underwater. Something that I've been wanting to do for a while. Comment down below what you think is, don't cheat and skip forward. Comment down below what you think is the most catching little lure setup item in fishing that's caught fish ever. I can tell you what I think it is in my opinion right now, but comment down below. I want to see what your guys' opinion is on this, okay? Don't skip ahead to this right now because I'm going to tell you what I think it is. It is the frickin' Spin-n-glo. Okay? Spin-n-glo, 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 Spin-n-glo. I brought one Spin-n-glo to Brewster last year to Sockeye fish, and I fish a Spin-n-glo every single time I go out Kokanee fishing. And Spin-n-glos, absolutely, those fish cannot resist them. I caught so many fish on my Spin-n-glo at Brewster that the line literally broke and I lost my freaking Spin-n-glo. I was extremely sad about it because it was the only one of that color that I brought, and it absolutely decimated sockeye salmon out there on Brewster Pool. So I was sad about it, but nevertheless, we are going to set up, and I'm going to show you exactly how I set up these little miniature fish killers right here for kokanee and sockeye salmon. Again, with these two beautiful little Spin-n-glos, we are going to grab another leader. Okay. I've tied up so many leaders and stacked them all together, it's an absolute mess. All right, so again, we're just gonna grab 2 beads, but this time we're not gonna do glow beads. We're gonna grab chartreuse beads on this one. We're gonna grab 1 chartreuse, just like that, and we're gonna grab 1 pink, because we are gonna pair this with a pink and chartreuse Spin-n-glo, just like so. These are super simple, super easy, guys. And of course, yes, this is a major self-promotion to buy my pre-rigged setups, 100%. But I'm showing you guys how to set these up because I don't want you to feel obligated like you have to go buy them, and I know that's not the case at all. I'm just saying, I want you guys to understand exactly how to set these up so you can go to the store, pick up your own pieces, have all the information, and you guys can go out there and be successful in the water as well. So let's grab our last bead. We're going to grab another chartreuse up top because why are we going to do that? We have pink on the bottom because our chartreuse touching the pink, and now we have pink on top, so we're going to grab a chartreuse and we are going to match it to that. And it does not have to be this way. I just like my setups to look nice. And this is another absolute gorgeous setup. And these pre-rigged Spin-n-glo setups, just like this one right here, exact same everything, the exact same hook, spacing, line. It'll be 10.5" leader with a size 12 barrel swivel up top. And all of these will be available on the shop here in about a week's time as well, guys. We are dropping a few more brand new Sockeye Walking on Water hybrid hoochies. They're going to be pre-rigged, or you can buy the individual, or you can buy the 2-pack, which comes with 2 hybrid hoochies just by themselves in a pack just like this, and you can rig them up however you want. Or you can purchase the full pre-rigged just like this. I'll tie it up. I'll make sure everything's dialed, pulled on, ripped on, make sure everything's nice and tight for you guys so you can just pull it out of the package and go fish them on the water. So everything with our Sockeye stuff, you guys, is going to realistically be identical to our Kokanee stuff, okay? This is a specific, you can definitely run this for Kokanee. I just don't as much because it's so valuable at Brewster Pool. I'm telling you, at least last year, this thing absolutely decimated Sockeye out there. It was absolutely beautiful to watch. But we will cut these down to about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. Beautiful little hoochie just like that. And then instead of using the size 4s, we are gonna grab size 1 red octopus hooks, just like this one right here. We're gonna do exactly the same thing, one finger spacing. We're gonna use a 15-pound fluorocarbon versus the little 10-pound, just like this. Everything's gonna look identical to this setup. And we're gonna come out with Spin-n-glo setups exactly the same way, a little bit bigger Spin-n-glo, bigger line, bigger hooks, all set up for sockeye salmon, and we are going to run those leaders at 12 inches long, and we're going to use the exact same size 12 barrel swivel to hook them to your Dodger, and you guys are going to go out there and absolutely decimate Sockeye this year. It's looking like it's going to be a good run. Obviously not going to be as gigantic as last year, but it's still going to be a really epic, amazing year out there on the water. I just want to say God bless you to every single one of you that ever tune into my videos. It honestly means the world. So many people have put in orders, and it fills me with joy to be able to do this. And you know, I'm a 100% disabled vet. I've been retired for a long time. All I do is fish. And so filling my day with making hoochies, you know, that anything that goes towards fishing, helping people catch fish is honestly just something that I love to do. Any little bit of information I can give you guys or anything like that. Like you guys, subscribe, be a part of the community, join the private fishing Facebook group, Walking on Water Fishing. And I just want to say thank you so much. God bless you. Can't wait to see you guys on the water. I'm going fishing tomorrow. It's going to rain all day, but I cannot wait. We're going to put some of these hoochies to the test out there yet again. Tight lines. Catch you next time.